Hello and welcome to another video from Sandra at Sandra's Stamp and Craft Studio. Today we are doing something a little bit different with the ladies over from the Global Share Fair. So today I am taking part in the Woohoo weekend. Starting in Friday night Australian time through to the UK time and into the American, just like we do for the Global Share Fair. For our Woohoo weekend, we are all showcasing one of 4 different suites that we're going to be bringing to you throughout the 2 days. So let me share with you my suite that I'm using today. I'm going to be showcasing the Flowers of Friendship bundle here. It's a cling mount stamp and it's got 10 stamps and the coordinating punch. With my card today, I'm also going to be featuring our 2021 to 23 In-Colours, but with the shimmer vellum. So my card today is a little bit of a jigsaw. I'm using blocks of background colour and blocks of the shimmer vellum, and we are going to be embossing them with textured embossing. And can you see the sheen there catching the light? All of those shimmer vellums showcased there. They are absolutely gorgeous. And these are the flowers that I will be showing you how to colour and punch. For my base card today, I'm using the basic white thick card, and it is 1/2 of our full length of the sheet. So whether you're in Imperial or metric, if you're Imperial, you will be cutting this at 4 1/4 inches all the way down. If you're in metric, you'll be cutting it at 10 1/2 centimetres all the way down. Then scoring it in half at either 5 1/2 inches or 14.85 centimetres. So there is my base card. You will need to cut 2 pieces this size, which is 1 1/8 inch by 4 3/8 inches, or 2.8 centimetres by 11 centimetres. You will need 2 of those. There and there. And then you will need 2 pieces. For the smaller pieces, you will need 1.8 inch again by 2 3/4 inches, or 2.8 centimetres by 7 centimetres. And they will go at the top and at the bottom. Your centerpiece here will be 1 3/8 inch by 3 1/8, or 3.5 centimetres by 7.9 centimetres. And I've put some foam pads on the back of that one. I'm now going to adhere all of these pieces down. The outer pieces will all be flat onto the card, and the centerpiece will have foam pad just to raise it slightly.
It's all because everybody plays a part in doing what we love.
Now the centerpiece will have foam pads on the back, which I've already applied. I've used the black foam pads here. My measurements were all on the back here. I'm now covering them up. And then we have our base card. Now it's up to you which way you, depending on your greeting, whether you want to have it landscape and opening this way, or you'd like to have it portrait and opening this way. Either way is absolutely fine. So for the purposes of the video now, I'm going to do another landscape card. So I have cut some vellum pieces, which I'm going to give you the measurements of, but firstly I'd like to just show you to catch the camera onto the shimmer vellum. They are really a nice glittery surface on there. Now I'm going to emboss these. I have 5 pieces cut here, but I have some that I prepared ahead of time, and I'm going to bring on my ornate floral embossing folder. I've already run these through the cut and emboss machine. So I'll take these pieces out of the folder and we'll go through the measurements with you. You will need 2 long pieces at 1 inch by 4 1/4, or 2.5 centimetres by 10.3 centimetres. You will need 2 shorter pieces that measure 1 inch by 2 5/8 or 2.5 by 6.7 centimetres. The centre piece is 1 1/4 inches by 3 inches or 3.2 centimetres by 7.6 centimetres. And I've just positioned those where I'd like to put them on my mat layers below. I'm bringing on my Stampin' Up silicone mat, and I'm going to lay that on the corner of my mat here. Now, I love my Tombow, and I'm going to put a puddle of my Tombow glue down on here. With vellum, it's very difficult for the glue not to show through on the reverse. But having embossed it, it's giving it some texture and it helps to disguise any adhesive. So I've got a tiny piece of sponge here, and I'm going to massage some Tombow glue into the end, and I'm just going to tap that over the back. This will give it a good adhesive surface, but you won't be able to see the glue through. There won't be any solid lumps of adhesive. So I'll get my tweezers and place that in position. With the Tombow, it gives you that little bit of squidge room to manoeuvre that about. And then I'll do the next piece and I'll work my way through. And there all our pieces are adhered down, and once that's fully dry you won't be able to see all the adhesive through there. So I'm going to move that out of the way now, and we're going to work on the decoration. I'm returning back to my stamp, and I've decided today I like thank you cards, and this one will fit nicely in our double oval punch. I have my basic grey ink pad, my stamp ready, and a strip of the basic white cardstock.
It's so much more than stamps and ink. It's more than just a card you see. It's part of you, a part of me.
So here is the greeting ready to apply onto my card. I have stamped this onto thick basic white card because this is a raised surface. I've already have foam Stampin' Dimensionals underneath. So to adhere on here better on the surface, I'm going to be using glue dots on the back. So just going to slide that up a little, and I'm going to uncover some glue dots here. I'm going to be pressing that firmly onto the either end, and also, that didn't take, onto either end, and also one into the centre. There we go, we've got 3 on there, and I'm going to place that in the centre of my pale papaya layer. I didn't give you all the names, did I? The new In-Colours, in case you haven't seen them already, we have Fresh Freesia, we have Pale Papaya, we have Polished Pink, and then we have the greens are gorgeous. They work so well together. We have the Soft Succulent and the Evening Evergreen. So I'm going to move this out of the way again, and I'm going to bring on my Stamparatus. I've zoomed my camera slightly out so that you can see the whole of my Stamparatus. When I open this door, you will find that this slides away from you, and so popping a stamp set underneath is the right gap so that it doesn't tilt away from you. So I've already positioned my stamps on here, but before I did that, I took a piece of scrap card and I made one punch of the whole of the image in the center of that card. I didn't do it too close to the edge. I've deliberately gone so I'm a little way away from the edges. So I've used this side of the card. And then I have placed my stamps inside here, face downwards. I've done the 2 flowers on here and played about with it until I've got those perfectly spaced in the center. Then I've turned it round and I've done exactly the same with the 2 leaves. So I've placed the leaves in the holes and placed them on top there, picked them up, And now we're ready to craft. So I removed one of my magnets. This is my piece of card. I only need this as far as my image here is going to go. So I'm going to anchor that down with my magnets. I have wrapped my magnets in duct tape. This is plasticized, and I've had these on here the life of my Stamparatus, and it has stayed solid. If you use washi tape, it's a paper based and it tends to tear after a few uses. So I prefer to use this, and they are secure and you've got a handle to get hold of. And it also makes it easy if they can become stuck together, you can twist them apart easier. So today I'm going to be using I've got the leaves in here next, so I will do my soft succulent first. I'm going to just gently tap that on there, because these are new ink pads, they're new In-Colours. They are very juicy. So I'm just going to press on those lightly, and my images will be in the correct place. And then I will turn that over. Just off camera here, I also have my polished pink ink pad. So I'm going to ink up both my flowers together and then press that down in position. And my images are perfectly placed. So now I can make a mark on here as to take a pencil, and my punch is going in that way. So now I'm going to turn this round and do the other end, making sure it's just over that edge there. And again, I'll put my punch is now going to go that way. So my magnets are down, I'm into the corner. We use the flowers last, so I'll do the flowers first this time as the plate is ready for me. And they will all be perfectly placed. So here's my strip of card with the two images on. This is the way the punch will go. So I'm going to line those up in my punch. Try and keep that flat for you. And you will see, if you find yourself an anchor point on your punch, it will punch out nicely. So that's those 4 pieces. And then I'm going to turn it round and do the same the other side. I use 1 large and 2 small, and 2 of each of the leaves on here. So I'm going to bring back on, just off the camera, I've got my soft succulent and my polished pink ink pads. This is my Wink of Stella glitter brush. So I'm going to take the lid off, and I'm just taking a piece of scrap card, and I shake it to get the pigment mixed up, and I just squeeze it slightly on there just to get the ink down into the reservoir ready to paint with. Okay, I can see that's wet on there. I have my flowers and my leaves over here ready to colour, and I've got my soft succulent ink pad, and I've squeezed it to get some ink into the lid. So when I open this up, I have ink in this well here. So I'm going to use just a tiny little piece of my Wink of Stella, and I'm going to gently colour this. I've got it quite diluted, and I'm going to gently colour this with a wash in the background. And repeat for all of my leaves. Squeeze that through. And I've actually got a little pool there of glitter, which will be really nice for my flowers. So just swap those over and bring my flowers down. And I'm doing the same with the polished pink, and I will squeeze that to get some ink into the lid. And just close that slightly so that it gives a bit of balance. So I'm just going to take a little puddle of that, and I've diluted that, you can see in there, and it's got the shimmer in there. And I'm going to gently work from the centre outwards, just flicking that out so that by the time I get to the outside, the ink is much lighter. I'll close my ink pad. So I'm bringing on my card that we made earlier, and now we're going to decorate. I'm returning the lid to my Tombow, and I'm going to be using this to put some texture into the middle of the flowers. Now they need to have dried properly first, and then I'm going to take this and run my Tombow to actually, as I go round in a circle in the centre, it's actually giving shape to that flower. It's got dimension to it. So I'm going to do the same with the other ones. And then we have 3 raised flowers. So these glue dots, I'm just going to lay them down here so that I can get access to some of them. I'm going to press the centre of my flower onto the glue dot and pick it up and place it where I want that to sit. Now, where you've got words like this, you want to make sure that you place it so that you can still see the words, and then hold it in place and press it down with the roundness of your Tombow, and it will stay curly. And the same with the next one. Place the centre of the flower on the glue dot, press it down, pick it up, and then place your flower where you'd like that to be. Okay, I like to have some dimension to those, so they are quite close. And I'm just pressing that so that the jelly of the glue dot will actually mould into the texture of the embossing folder. So that's 3 of those picked up, and this one can come down the base here. This one I'm going to place in the gully here, because that also will give it a slope. There we go, all our flowers are adhered, and now I'm going to do exactly the same with the leaves, and start with the largest leaves, and we'll place the end, get the correct end. So you want the blunt end without the shaping on it, and press that onto there firmly. I am pressing onto the foam mat here. It'd probably be easier on a harder surface. And the first one is going to be placed over here to hide that little piece of the pale papaya, so they flow nicely. Okay, the tweezers are handy for pressing down. You can use your pick tool as well. So the next one onto the glue dots. Another little tip for you is, if you tear off your piece of the glue dot paper, you can actually put all of these on here at the same time. So place one there, and turn that one round, and you can place that one there. So then you can press them onto a hard surface at the ends of those images, and then they will be easier to peel off and place where you'd like them.
We've grown strong together, you know it's all because everybody plays a part in doing what we love. You can bet it.
Okay, we're nearly finished. So the last thing I'm going to do is return that to the centre, and I'm going to pick up some of my gems. These are my rhinestone gems. I'm leaving that zoomed in so that you can see closely what I'm doing here, but I'm actually going to be taking some of the smaller gems for the 2 smaller flowers. So just press that down in the centre, and another one there. Just press that down in the centre. Then I'm going to use one of the medium-sized ones for the larger flower in the centre. I hope you've enjoyed my tutorial today and learnt some new tips and tricks along the way. Each of the demonstrators presenting will be posting 4 times each within their allocated hour slot, bringing you live presentations, recorded presentations, tips and tricks, and other fun posts. Before you leave, if this is your first time visiting my channel, then please click the button below to subscribe. If you ring the bell too, you'll be notified of future videos as I release them. My contact details and details of the event will be in the description below. Thanks for joining us, and I hope to see you here again soon. Bye for now.
It's what you're dreaming of.